The legend of Sơn Tinh and Thủy Tinh. Long ago, in the time of the 18th Hung King, the ancient land of Văn Lang was peaceful and prosperous. The kingdom lay between tall mountains and winding rivers, and its people lived close to nature, depending on good seasons, gentle rains, and warm sunshine. In the royal palace lived Princess Mi Nương, the beloved daughter of King Hung Vuong. She was known throughout the land for her beauty and gentle nature. The king treasured her greatly and wished to find her a husband who was worthy, someone strong, noble, and capable of protecting her and the people. One day, two extraordinary beings came to the palace, each hoping to marry the princess. The first was Sơn Tinh, the spirit of the mountains. Sơn Tinh ruled over the forests and highlands. Wherever he went, the mountains and hills responded to his call. Animals of the wilderness followed him, and plants flourished under his care. The second was Thủy Tinh, the spirit of the waters. He commanded the seas and rivers. Storms rose when he willed it, and rain fell at his command. The water, in all its forms, obeyed him. Both spirits possessed great power, and both desired the princess. The king faced a difficult choice. He could not show favor to either spirit, and so he devised a test that would be fair to both. He declared, "Whichever of you brings the wedding gifts first shall become the husband of my daughter." The required gifts were rare and symbolic: 100 sticky rice plates, 100 round rice cakes, 9 ivory elephants, 9 red-maned roosters, and 9 beautiful horses. These items were not only valuable, but meaningful within the culture, representing strength, prosperity, and harmony between heaven and earth. The two spirits accepted the challenge and left the palace, each determined to return before the other. At dawn the next morning, Sơn Tinh arrived first. With his command over the mountains and forests, he gathered the gifts swiftly and presented them to the king exactly as requested. True to his word, King Hung Vuong granted him the right to marry Princess Mi Nương. Sơn Tinh took her away to his home in the high mountains. Not long afterward, Thủy Tinh arrived. He too had gathered the gifts, but he had come second. When he learned that the princess had already been given to Sơn Tinh, he was filled with anger and frustration. Though the story does not mention any long speeches or emotional confessions, it is clear that Thủy Tinh felt deeply wronged by losing the challenge. His anger grew into a powerful rage. Summoning all his strength, Thủy Tinh caused the waters to rise. He called upon rain clouds, unleashed storms, and made the rivers swell. Floodwaters began to spread across the land, threatening villages and fields. The once peaceful kingdom was endangered as water surged toward Sơn Tinh mountainous home, but Sơn Tinh did not retreat. Using his power over the mountains, he lifted the hills higher and higher. Each time the water rose, he raised the land to match it. The battle between the two spirits was fierce. The rains poured without rest. The rivers overflowed. The winds howled across the countryside. Yet Sơn Tinh held firm. No matter how high Thủy Tinh made the water rise, Sơn Tinh could raise the mountains even higher. Eventually, Thủy Tinh exhausted his strength. The storms weakened, the rivers calmed, and the waters slowly receded. Defeated, Thủy Tinh returned to the seas, but his anger did not disappear. According to the traditional tale, every year afterward, during the rainy season, Thủy Tinh renews his attack. He sends heavy rains and rising waters in an attempt to challenge Sơn Tinh once more. Each year, the floods return, and each year, Sơn Tinh resists and protects the land. This cycle repeats endlessly, symbolizing the natural flooding that occurs annually in many parts of Vietnam. The story explains these seasonal floods not through scientific causes, but through a legendary struggle between two powerful spirits, one of the mountains and one of the waters. Throughout the generations, the tale of Sơn Tinh and Thủy Tinh has been told to remind people of the strength of nature and the importance of understanding and respecting it. It also reflects the wisdom of ancient Vietnamese people who used stories to explain natural phenomena and to pass cultural values from one generation to the next. And so the legend remains one of the most famous and enduring folk tales in Vietnam. It teaches that power must be balanced, promises must be honored, and that the forces of nature are eternal, rising, falling, and rising again, just as Thủy Tinh floods return each year.